I got to kind of clarify, because I know a lot of people are getting really hung up on this whole like digital versus analog
I'm aware
thing.
of that.
Yeah, like, and like I know like that's why it's kind of a point of contention. With things like pedals and application devices, we're looking at very different things. Like there's the utilitarian point of view of where like, and you actually have to rely on this heavily. I can't afford, and not anybody really can really afford to be a purist in any sense of the word about analog. You know what I mean? Like everything has a digital element. Like you look at your whammy, it has a digital element. Where the crux of that argument has to do is modeling and DAWs. I mean, if you want to talk to Steve Albini, he'll kind of tell you.
Somebody posted that link on the site on the complete crosstalk from the last episode.
You have to kind of take this into account right now. Is that like, by no means is any like, because Big Black used a digital drum machine. You know, his original band used a digital drum machine instead of a drummer. I mean, but he says that analog is better than digital, and no, it's not analog is better than digital always. It's analog recording is better than digital recording because of a certain set number of factors that I think we can talk about later.
Right.
And we can really get into that whole thing, just like we kind of touched into the modeling sort of thing.
Yeah.
But there's a whole, it's an ideology and a principle. And that's like, those sets of rules have to do with the recording environment.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. We're talking about performance tools that enhance your creativity at this point.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the point.
And that's the difference between what we're talking about.
And like with this unit, I can come to a gig, and let me tell you, this unit right here, I mean, they cost what, $200-300, something like that?
300.
This unit has made me an extra $200 in a night, because what I do is I book gigs, which I normally would do like a duo or a trio, which would pay me, you know, in between $100-200 a set, play 3 sets. But with this machine, I can do it all by myself. So I don't have to pay a bass player. I don't have to pay a drummer. Sorry, guys. I'd rather have all the money for myself. I'm just going to be honest. And with this unit, I can record up to 6 hours of audio, have all my backups ready to go, and I don't do the full man band thing. Like I don't have drums behind me. I just record guitar loops and play over them. You know, jazz standards, stuff like that. You know, kind of atmospheric, casual stuff. And you know, it's a really, really great way to enhance the sound.
See, personally for me, I use mine as a performance tool with a drummer and a bass player, where I'm like, if I need to go, like I'll record, because since we're a 3-piece, I record the line and then I need to do something else. Or I record the line and I need to go play a synthesizer. Like I literally use it in a real-time fashion, which is really hard to do because like, you know, loops and drummers don't always sync up all the time. So you get really cool things that, like mistakes that come out of it. But like, it's not a replacement for a band or anything like that. I don't want to kind of like get on this whole like thing where like people this is totally. But like look at the back of it. It has mic input. There's vocalists that use this to record their harmonies,
backups.
Yeah. You know, everything else, or they want to do.
There's a million applications for a piece like this. You know, I used it to make more money on jazz gigs. You know, you could use it virtually for anything. Now, like I mentioned, there's a lot of other kinds out there. There's the RC20XL, which is a roll-in piece. I owned one for several years. You got one right now. Great unit. I bought mine a long time ago. I dropped it on concrete floors before. It just took a beating. This unit, I haven't dropped it yet. I'm not sure. It's a Digitech, so if it's anything like any other Digitech piece, it's going to break. But the Roland's out there. Now, the best sounding one I've come across is the Boomerang. I've actually set all 3 of these beside each other and listened to each one, and the Boomerang did sound the best. The downside with Boomerang, you can't store anything. So for like the loops on the spot application, perfect. But for me, being able to show up with 2 hours worth of pre-recorded material, it's just not going to work.
Yeah. I mean, like that. This is definitely for that kind of the guys who sit there on the right and they're like, you know, we got an album recorded. We got 3 guitar parts and like 1 guitarist. Get them the looper, record all that stuff in there, and then during the part, you hit this play button, and all 3 are doing the harmonized solo, and then you stop, and then you go back into the part.
You know, it might be kind of wicked. Maybe I'm kind of pushing it here, but some sort of, well, this will just kind of turn it into a regular sampler at this point, but some sort of MIDI in, you know, so it could be controlled by an external device or a computer. I mean, you could like make loops live. Your drummer could have the click, and everything would be synced up. You know what I mean?
And I mean, like they do make those sort of things actually already. I mean, you could get the Roland SP555, which has MIDI in, and then you can also record in real time. It'd be good for somebody who needs something tabletop, though. Or you can you can punch in and out with the foot switch actually as well, an external foot switch. There's also the RC50XL, which is the answer to everybody.
That thing's huge.
That has MIDI in and out.
Oh, it does. Okay, well there you go.
There we go.
All right, that has MIDI in and out. That has everything that you could probably possibly want out of a. It's like the monster.
The mother of all.
Yeah, and then there's the Gibson Echoplex.
That thing's crazy.
It's supposed to be kind of like a recall to the, to the old tape delays of yesteryear. Yesteryear. But instead, it's now just a very, very complex delay and looping device. And that thing is insane. And it doesn't work that well unless you have the foot switch.
Obviously, I mean, you brought your SM57 right here. You took it apart, showed us the mods you can make with it, explained that this is the mic that will save your life. And we've talked about the one-man jam. Or is it the man jam? Or
the JamMan.
JamMan.
A little less dyslexic.
Okay.
But yeah, we're going to be doing a little video of the JamMan in the next Crosstalk.
I need coffee. I'm sorry. Okay.
So what I'm going to do is just loop a couple of jazz-style chords.
You're going to loop some jazz-style chords.
And try and refrain from using any copywritten music.
Man jam.
Man jamma.
Jamma man, a man, a fan,
Man jamma jam man.
Banana rama, kama, hana, hana.
What about Ram Jam?
Ram blam.
You guys, good luck with that.
Okay. Anyway, so you're going to talk about that, and you're going to play on a little bit of some jamming for us.
Yeah, we'll play through the AC-15, see if we can't get it to sound decent.
Awesome. And I'm going to talk a little bit about my gear in the next episode, episode 37. I'm going to be talking about the unlikely use I came across of the BCR 2000 rotary controller from Behringer, believe it or not. This guy right here. And I will also be talking about a cheaper alternative to in-ears that I discovered while I was at AES. But in the meantime, we're going to come back to your demo in a little bit. If you want to leave comments, questions, concerns, or snarky comments for Britton on the website, you can go to the Crosstalk videos at gearwire.com and leave your comments and enter discussion with the various people on there. We're very happy about the last Crosstalk. We had more comments than we've had on any other Crosstalk before. And I'm glad that everybody participated and that there was much name-calling to be had. It was fun. So we'll be back with more Crosstalk in a little bit in episode 37 on Gearwire.com.